Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel and welcome if you're new. And if you're new, I would love it if you would stick around and subscribe. And so for today's video, I have another, I guess like non-bookish related video, but I still think that it can be helpful. So I'm just going to be giving tips that I use for when I need to be productive but I don't feel motivated. So I hope that these can help you out too. And if you have any that I don't mention, I would love it if you would let me know in the comments so that we can help each other. So yeah, with that being said, let's get into the video. So my first tip is to do something to maybe change up your routine or change up your setting. So something I'll do is go to Starbucks to get work done instead of going to my office or just staying at my house. Having a change of scenery just kind of makes it feel fresher and helps me get more done. The next is to be gentle with yourself. So I have a tendency when I am not feeling motivated to be productive, obviously I'm not going to be operating at 100%, but I still feel like I should be. So I have a tendency to really beat myself up, which always makes things worse. So something that I've been trying to do is be gentle with myself. So if one of my friends came to me for advice or something and was I am struggling to be productive and I'm not feeling motivated and stuff, I would be well, it's okay, you just do what you can, and it's okay if you're not always 100% productive. So I've been trying to talk to myself like that instead of beating myself up, because I'm always harder on myself than I am with others. So yeah, I just try to treat myself how I would treat my friends instead of being extremely hard on myself. The next tip I have is to pair the work that you need to get done with something fun. So if you're able to, I would recommend having music that you really like, that you can look forward to listening while you're getting your work done, or YouTube, or if there's a TV show you just constantly rewatch and can have it on in the background. It's not the best for 100% productivity, but when you're not feeling motivated, I know I don't operate at 100%, so having something to help make the work seem less miserable, I guess, helps me to actually still do work. So doing 70% of what I would want to do is better than doing 0%. So I hope that makes sense. But yeah, pairing it with something that makes it seem more enjoyable, so that hopefully you can get more done than you would if you were just trying to do it normally. My next tip is to take it one step at a time. So I know I'll find myself, especially when I'm not feeling motivated, thinking about everything that I need to get done and super overwhelmed with everything that I have to get done that I don't feel like getting done. So instead, focusing on one little step that I can do right now to help me get towards the bigger goal makes it seem less overwhelming. So that helps take away some of the anxiety, I guess, surrounding the tasks that I need to get done. So if the whole goal seems overwhelming, just focus on one small step you need to take right now. So for example, if you have a 5-page paper that's due in a few weeks and thinking about that is just really overwhelming, just try to focus on okay, well, this week I just need to read the articles that the papers are about, or something like that, and then just focus on that for this week, and then next week just reevaluate and see what you need to focus on for that week. My next tip is to self-reflect on what you need. So oh, that's my kitty. Hello, Bumba. She's a little bit upset because she has medicated food now because she was having some stomach problems or something. So if you hear her screaming in the background, I promise I'm not torturing her or anything. She's just mad that she has to have medicine. But anyways, my next tip is to self-reflect on what you need. So whenever I'm not feeling motivated to get stuff done, like I said before, I'm not getting as much done as I would as when I'm like super motivated. So then I have a tendency to like push myself even harder and to try to like catch up to where I wanted to be. But instead, sometimes like if I just take a step back and like really look into myself and try to evaluate what I actually need. What I actually need is to rest. So doing that I think is really helpful. And also just like what are the things that can help you get out of a slump. So like for one thing, not forcing yourself to do literally everything. And also like what are the self-care things that help you feel better? So like journaling, going on a walk. I mean, there are like countless things, and you can all like, if you don't know, you could just like Google self-care and like tons and tons of lists and stuff come up. So yeah, I would recommend like taking a step back and just like looking at yourself and what you need instead of just continuing to like push until you burn out. My next tip is to think of like the lowest amount of time that you can do something without it feeling overwhelming, and then do your task for that amount of time. And once that amount of time has passed, if sometimes you'll get like a burst of energy and you'll be like, oh, well, I can actually keep working on this, and just keep working on it. But if you don't after that certain amount of time, then just stop. So an example of this, I guess, would be, say I needed to work on my thesis lit review. So that's like an overwhelming task, and so instead of just saying like, oh, I'm just gonna work on this until it's finished or something like that, or even saying I'm gonna work on this for 2 hours, if the lowest amount of time or the highest amount of time that I can think of that doesn't feel overwhelming is 10 minutes. So I'll just say, okay, I'll just work on this for 10 minutes. And then once the 10 minutes are up, if I feel like, oh, I can keep working on this lit review, then I just will. And then if after the 10 minutes are up, I'm just like, okay, I'm done. I am done. Then I stop and I did what I was supposed to do. And that way I still got 10 minutes of work more done than I would have if I just stopped. And it kind of helps reduce, you know, like when you keep putting stuff off and then it gets bigger and bigger in your head until you, like it's just so overwhelming and you like put it off until the last possible second. So it helps reduce that too, because if you work for 10 minutes, you're still like, it's not like that you didn't start, it's just you only worked on it for 10 minutes. So it makes the task seem less daunting when you come back to it again like the next day. And the last tip that I have is to reward yourself. So when I am motivated, sometimes I don't even like need an external reward. It's just like I'm getting stuff done. It feels good, like I'm proud of myself. I just want to get this stuff done. But then when I am not motivated, and when I'm not motivated, it can be a lot harder if I don't have an external reward. So like I don't have that internal like drive for things anymore. So, or not as much anymore. So if that's the only thing I'm relying on, like I'm not gonna get much done. But if I say, okay, if I work on this and finish this, and then I can watch an episode of this TV show, or I can get a pack of gummies after I read this chapter or something like that. It just gives you something to be excited about, and kind of like sparks that excitement about getting the work done in you again, since you don't have like that internal spark, if that makes sense. I feel like I've been saying if that makes sense a lot in this video, but I hope that makes sense. And those are all the tips I have today. I'm sure there are a lot more, but I didn't want this list to be too overwhelming. So I'm just gonna stop there. And if you have any other tips, like I said before, please let me know. I would love to hear. And I hope these tips helped you some. So that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you soon in my next video. Bye!